Hey, this is Passy from Passy's World of ICT, the guy with the white hat. And I always excel at Excel, and welcome to lesson 2 on Excel calculations and formats. So we're going to continue our work that we did in lesson 1. And it's very important that you have done lesson 1 before you do this lesson. It's also very important that you set the playback speed to 1.5 times. So down on the YouTube play bar, there's a little tools cog. Make sure you click on that and watch it in HD, but also put playback speed 1.5. By clicking on playback speed, click the arrow, go down to 1.5 or even 1.75, and the video will flow a lot better at that higher speed. This video does not have a timeline index like our database lessons do, because hopefully it's not going to be that long and that complicated. So what are we doing? We're going to do add, subtract, multiply, divide, and percent. We're going to do the Excel calculator functions, the calculations. We're going to format font colors and fills, which we also did in lesson 1. So it's very important you've done the Excel totals lesson, the lesson that comes before this one in the course. Merge cells to center our headings, wrapping text across multiple lines. That is a new thing. We have not done that at all yet. Center, left, right, and middle alignment. We did a little bit of that in lesson 1. We'll do some more in this lesson. Cell border. We're not going to use those kind of lots of minus sign underlines. We're going to use something else to do underlining. We're going to learn how to deal with money and dollars and format currency and the number of decimal places for numbers. And we're going to also insert a picture image onto the screen, adjust its sharpness and brightness, all right, to make it look good. So that's a lot of stuff, and hopefully we're going to get this over in about 30 minutes, but if you watch it at 1.5 times speed, it should be a lot faster. All right, so let's have a look at Excel calculations. We're basically going to look at how to do adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, and percentage, all right? And you're going to try this out as well. So what we need to do is, like we did in the last lesson, just get out of the presentation for a minute, and we need to start up that snipping tool. So start up SNIP, the snipping tool. So just do the Windows start down the left-hand corner, type in snipping, and you'll find snipping tool. Double click on it here, and it should start up. Where are you, Mr. Snipping Tool? There he is there, down in the taskbar. Okay, so it should look like this. Now, we want to do a new snip, so you can push down your mouse and grab this and move it around. Oops, come back here, come back here. All right, so we're going to do new. So click on new, and we just want to cut out this little guy here. So move your mouse to there with the plus, then push down. If you mess up, remember it's okay, just press new again and we can get it. So we're just going to push down the mouse, hold it, get all that stuff, and that's in the snipping tool. So let's just leave it there and minimize that with this minus sign. And we better start up Microsoft Excel. So let's press that Windows Start button. Now we've got Excel on our action pane there, so I'll just start up straight away. And as usual, we're using this one, blank workbook. Okay, so we start up a blank workbook. Remember, down the bottom right-hand corner from lesson 1, there is that slider, so we'll zoom in a bit, so it's a bit bigger and easier to see. And then let's go back to our snipping tool. Down on the taskbar, we're clicking the set of scissors there, and we can go edit, copy, and then we can go over to our Excel and just put it here out of the way a bit and go right click, paste, and there it is, and it's way too big as usual. So remember, just grab the corners of your mouse and shrink it down. All right, so that's what we're trying to do. Now we don't need all of these things. We just need really just to do, let's say, our first number. Let's just type that in. Our first number, and that's overflowed, it's too big. So remember, you got the top here, and if you just double click when you've got those double arrows there, that'll make it the right length. And this one's going to be second number, and let's just go and first we have to click off it to enter it, then we can go back here and make it wider. Second number. Now we just want the answer, so we want in here, we'll just have answer. So yeah, you need to start up Excel and put in these same things in. And first we're going to do adding, then we'll do some subtracting, and we'll do multiplying, And dividing, we'll show you how to do that. And last of all, percentage. Now remember, that's all not fitting in properly. So go up the top to the A, get your double arrows by mousing over it with the button up. Push down your button and hold it and move that, drag it across so we've got some room. All right, so we're gonna have our first number is 1. Okay, I'll just pause the video here and put the rest in and you do the same. Okay, welcome back. I'm nearly finished, but you can see with dividing here, whoops, I put it on the wrong row. So I'm just using the arrow key to move these around. And what I'll do is I'll just get this first guy here. And if I do Control X to cut, see how it's highlighted with the ants going around like we did in the previous lesson? I'll just move up one and press Enter. All right, so I'm just doing cut and paste. I'm moving to that 2, pressing Control, holding down the Control key and pressing the letter X to cut it. It gets selected. Then I'd go to where I want to put it. Instead of, we don't do Control V in Excel, you just have to press Enter and then it moves there. So that's all good. And percentages, we had 50. Then we need the percent symbol. So you have to hold down Shift and do the number 5 to get that on there, 50%. And we want to get 50% of 10, half of 10, which should be 5. I've just hit page down there. Oh, come on, my page down is really close to my arrow keys. All right, so that's all good. So now we need to work out some answers. Now, automatically the numbers are pushed to the right. If you don't want them on the right, you can just like color in this whole column, hold down your mouse and select all that, and then go up the top here to this alignment. And if you go to middle one, which is this one, centering, the numbers will all move into the center. And so maybe with these numbers, maybe they'll look better on the center. You can move them with the left, right to the left, but we're just going to use the center to center them. All right, so that's got that done. Now, another thing, we'll show you text wrapping later. So we need to just, let's just color those in and go B for bold. And let's just color all those in with the mouse and go B for bold on those. So we want to do adding. We want to do 1 plus 2. We want to go right back to the beginning of school and do 1 plus 2. We know that's 1 plus 1, 2, that's 3. Okay, we can do that on our fingers. We can also do it in Excel. Now, to do it in Excel, you go equals, and we did this in the first lesson, lesson 1, which you should have watched and remembered. Remember, equals, you always have to press equals. Always do equals to start arithmetic in Excel. And we just pick and click. So we want to pick that one, which B4, Excel works it all out for us. Then hit the plus sign on your computer, which is on the very far right, and then click on the other guy you want to add together, which is C4, and then just press the Enter key. Now remember, if you accidentally press a plus, just use your backspace key to take it out there. But that's the formula we need to add those two together. It's even colored in what we're adding and matched them up here and press Enter. And yay, it's worked out 1 plus 2 is 3. If we change that to a 5 in here, it should update. And if we click on the answer, see now it's working out 1 plus 5 is 6. So that's good. It kind of updates when you put that algebra formula in there. 1 plus 3 is 4. Now we're going to do some subtracting. That was 1 plus 2, wasn't it? 4 minus 3. Now if we have 4 and we take away 3, so we've got 4, and let's take away 1, 2, 3 of them. We've got just 1 left. So 4 minus 3 is 1. That's how we do with our fingers. In Excel, we do equals, because we always do equals first when we're doing arithmetic. Then we need to just pick and click. So we click on that. We want to do that guy. Then we hit the minus sign, which is up there in the top right-hand corner of your keyboard. There's a minus symbol, and you can use that minus. And then we click on that guy. We want to minus that guy. Then we press the Enter key. So yay, 4 minus 3 is 1. Here we want to multiply 5 times 2, which should come out, if you've got 2 $5 notes, you've got $10. So 5 times 2, 2 $5 notes should be 10. Should come out 10 for the answer. How we do it in Excel is you press equals. Always do equals first to start your arithmetic. Pick and click. We click on the 5. Then there's a star symbol up the top right-hand corner of your keyboard, or you can do Shift and 8 to get the star symbol. Either way you get the star symbol. Then we want to do that one times this one. So we click on this one, then we press our enter key. And it should work out this blue one times this pink one, and it's got the correct answer, 10. 100, if we had $100, oh, that'd be nice. And we were splitting it up two ways, dividing it in two. People would get $50 each. They'd get half of that. So 100 divided by 2, we know the answer is 50. Let's do it in Excel. You do equals 100. Now, there is no divided by key on the computer. You have to use this / key, which is right next to the star key up the top right-hand corner of the computer, okay? So you need to use that one. And then we pick on this one. So we want to do the blue one divided by the pink one. We use the / key, which is next to star, to do that up the top right hand corner of our keyboard. Then we press enter, and it's worked that out correctly. To get 50% of 10, half of 10 in other words, which should come out as 5, you actually have to multiply. Here you go, equals, and we want to take that 50% and we want to use the star key to times it by that 10 and then press enter. And yes, 50% of 10, half of 10 is 5. So that's how you do the mathematical operations on Excel. So make sure you followed along with us and you have done that. Okay, and that will all be good for the first part of this lesson completed. So just remember also, when we're talking about we press the star key, we were talking about this top right hand corner of the keyboard, and there's the plus, the minus, the star for multiply. That was where that / key was for doing the dividing, okay? It should be up the top right hand corner of your keyboard somewhere on all keyboards. So make sure you've typed those in by picking and clicking, and you got all the right answers, and you can do that because that's going to be a key fundamental in our course, is being able to do Excel calculations. And that's lesson 2 part 1 completed, and we need to get on to lesson part 2, the learning task. All right, so we've got this plain spreadsheet here. Mandy's got this merch shop at the festivals, and I think we saw Mandy's merch shop in lesson 1. So here we are at a festival. Oh, that looks nice. So we'll work out how to put that nice picture on our Excel as well. And we've got all these things she's selling, and we just had how many she was selling, but we're going to take how many she sold, how much they cost each, the unit price here, and times these guys together and work out how much money came in from selling t-shirts, okay? That's the raw money before she's actually subtracted away the cost of the t-shirts for a profit. So she's not making 6,420, but that's how much sales there were, okay? So we're gonna be timesing all of these guys together to get these big number values in this right-hand sales revenue column. And we're gonna make it all nice and colored here. I think we saw in lesson 1 how to make these alternating lines and colors to make things easier to read. So yeah, we better get into that and do that one. So as usual, we're going to take our snipping tool and we're going to snip out what is the final thing we want to have, and that is the final thing we want to have. So we're going to go to Excel, and remember we can use this tab here. So we'll double click in this one down the bottom left hand corner, sheet 1. Just double click and we'll call that, that's where we're learning how to do our calculations. So we're going to call that guy calcs. And see this little plus sign here, if we click plus, that's going to be for Mandy's merch. So we'll call that one Mandy. And we've got a new blank screen we can work in. Remember there's that magnifier down the bottom right hand corner. We're just going to slide that up a bit. We've got what we need to be making in the snipping tool. Let's edit, copy that, go somewhere over here in Excel and right click and paste that in. Okay, then as usual make it smaller. Now we need to get across to column J here. That's going to be interesting. All right, we'll work that out in a little bit. Okay, so that's where we're starting. And so the first thing is to just get these typed in rough. We'll worried about making these purple and doing all the other fancy stuff later on. Okay, so hopefully you can see that. So pause the video. This is what you need to get typed in. First, the basic thing like this with all those figures in it. And remember to color them in. So you just go across and highlight them. Then you can go to your colors, more colors, get that customized pink from the standard here to make that pink. This one's blue, and that's just using for the letter color that standard blue sort of color from here. Okay, so anyway, pause the video and get all that typed into Excel, and then we'll come back and start making it into the nice purpley looking thing. Okay, so you should have all those figures in like that. Let's just enlarge this. We'll get the photo in at the end. Okay, and we'll put a link to the photo in the video description. Now, what are we trying to do here? We don't have these lines anymore. Notice these dotted lines. So how we can delete something is if you click on the number 6, that will actually select the whole row, and then you right click and you go delete. All right. So to get rid of this line here at 19, you don't just click there, click on the 19, and that takes the whole row, and we can delete that row out. Now, notice how in this finish one, we've got a space between where it says totals, but we don't have that space here. Okay, so click on the 19 and right click and do insert, and it'll insert a row above it like that. Now let's put some paintbrush thing in, which I don't know what that is, but hopefully it'll go away. Excel's always doing these annoying things. Okay, so that's that. Now, if you wanted 2 spaces, you could right click and insert another one. If we don't want that, we can delete it out like that. So that's looking more like this. Okay, now how do we get this, this thing? Notice this is split across 2 lines, number of items sold. Now, if we try and change this, we click in number sold and go up the top here, and we'll edit in the edit bar like we're supposed to do. So we're trying to get number of items, number of items sold. And that's going to be way too big to fit in there. And see how it doesn't even show all of it. If you click on it, you can see up the top here it's doing number of items sold, but down here it's just got items sold. Now you could stretch it and make it really wide like that, but we want to kind of split it across 2 lines like this. So what you do is you pull it back, and we'll just estimate that maybe it's like that. And this text in here, we can go up and use this wrap text function, and that will wrap it round onto 2 lines. So just click on the guy that's too big here, go to this one in alignment, wrap text, and see how it's wrapped it round now, and it's split it across 2 lines like that. Now, selling price, they don't have unit price, they've got selling price. So we can click on this one, go up to the edit bar and fix that up. Selling price, and then we want that split across 2 lines as well. So just go up to, click on that and go up to your wrap text and see how it's wrapped it round and split it on 2 lines. Sales revenue is supposed to have capital sales and then split onto a new line, okay, using this text wrapping. So this is something new we're learning during this lesson. So we just make column D a bit smaller, and if we use our wrap text, see, it hasn't really wrapped anything, but if you shrink column D down a bit more, you can see we have got the wrapping happening there, all right? And this, why have I still got my, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm just going back to click on that number 20 and delete that. I forgot to get rid of all those minuses. All right, so it's starting to look more like this. Maybe we'll just use our magnifier to make it a little bit bigger there. All right, so that's starting to look good. Mandy's Merch Shop sales. Whew, okay, so now see how items down the bottom here, and it is in capitals. We can also do vertical aligning. So at the moment, it's aligned to be right down the bottom. See in this finish one, it's in the middle. How we did that was when you click on it, you use these guys up here, the vertical aligners, and just go to the middle one, and that will put it in the middle of there. All right, so now we're ready to color those in and bold them and get the paint bucket, okay, and while they're colored in, and make the background purple. Now, the writing is white, so while they're colored in, we also need to go to the letters and just make it a white color like that, and then bold it. Okay, and then that's the same as that, and that bit's looking good, and that's done. Now these totals down here, notice underneath batteries where we finished, we've got this solid line. Now how do we get that? All right, so we need to color in across like this with the mouse, so we've got all of those selected, and we're going to use this one. This is something new as well, this one, the borders. So if you click on that one, the sort of cross box, there's a lot of things. Make sure you're on the home tab while you do this. And we want a thick bottom border, which is this guy here. And if you now click off that down here, we've got the thick bottom border, but it's in black, not in purple. Now, how did you get it in purple? Okay, well, we need to highlight that again and go to this borders, and you can actually do line color. Now, this is a bit funky, a bit tricky the way it does it. Okay, you go to line color and pick your purple, and then it gives you this little pencil thing. See the pencil? And you actually have to pencil click on every line that you want turned into purple, and then press escape to get out of the pencil, but we've got a thin line. All right, so we've changed our pencil color to purple. I think if we go back and do thick bottom border, it'll turn it into a thick line. All right, now if we want to customize that thick line further, you can go to line style here, but can we go to line thickness? Doesn't seem like we could go to that. What's that do? That does a very thick line. All right, so you could go to line style and just get a very thick line and then press escape when you're finished like that. Now, this guy here, we need to color it in, but we need to work out these totals. So this 2023 was adding up the number of items sold, all right? So remember, that's using your auto sum, which is over up the top right hand corner here while you're on the home tab. So we do auto sum. Now Excel's going to try and add that blank and that line as well. So remember, when the auto sum AI picks too many things to add together, you just click up the top here, then you push down your mouse and hold down and just color in the things you want to add up, which is all of those things. And then we press the enter key, and that's how we get that 2023 answer, the right answer. And now, getting our sales revenue. We're not actually using the totals here. We're multiplying. We've got to do 214 times 30. So remember in lesson 1 when we do arithmetic, the first thing is press equals. Always press equals to start your arithmetic. And we need to pick and click. So we need to click on 214, but we're not doing adding, we're doing timesing. So make sure you click the star key up around the top right hand corner of your keyboard to do multiplying. Then click on your 30, then press enter, okay? And that'll give you 6420. Here we need to do equals, and we need to click, star, click, and press enter. All right, then we need to go to the answer box. Always start in the answer box. Do your equals, then on your 146, your star for multiplying, press star on the keyboard, click on the 15. Those guys are ready to multiply together and press enter. All right, now you need to go along now and finish these off. So it'll be a bit of pick and click and starring and get all those done. So just pause the video and get all those done and then come back. Okay, so we've got all those done, but they're not the right colors and they don't have dollar signs yet. But let's get back to what we're doing here. We want to get that total of 25,194. Okay, so we go in the box where we want the answer for that grand total of all the money to be, and we use our auto sum up the top right hand side. And again, it's choosing too much to auto sum. So click in the first one, hold down your mouse. They're the guys you want to auto sum, and then press your enter. And we get our 25,194. Let's get that all formatted up with a purple paint bucket and white writing like that. Okay, and that's all done. Then there's some double lines underneath here. So if we color that in and go to our crisscross boxes here, which is the borders, we need the double bottom border. So we click that guy, and that gives us some double lines down the bottom. Now I'm also noticing, we haven't got a line where this guy is. So we need to actually just go, see how there's no line underneath there, and there should be. We need to click in the 1160 because we're doing bottom borders. We're ruling underneath that. Go to this guy and do a thick bottom border, that one, okay? And then that's got that in there. But then remember, we customize it. So go back to that and do line style. We went down to this bottom one, which was really thick. then we use that pencil to mark it, then we press the ESC escape key up the top left-hand corner of the keyboard. So that's that, and that's that with the double lines. That's looking good, and I think we've only got one more thing to do, which is the colouring in. Now, remember, you can pretty much do that. We just need that hot pink colour and do every second one hot pink. So click on that and that. Now, how do we get these in dollars? And how do we get these selling prices in dollars? Okay, well, this is formatting the numbers, and this is the last thing I think we need to do. So, apart from the picture. So if we color all those in, there's one up here that's got dollar signs, and there's different sorts of dollar signs you can do, or euro or pounds if you're in the UK, or renminbi Chinese money if you're in China. Now, also you can go to this one. Now, I always go to this one up here and just choose currency. Okay, so that drop down box will be on general to start off with, so they just look like that. So we get that drop down box, click on this little arrow here and get onto currency. And when you go over now, you can see they're all in currency, but we've got 2 decimal places and this doesn't have any decimal places. So what we can do is, while they're still colored in, there's a thing here, and that one increases the decimal places. We want to decrease them, okay? So we want that right-hand guy just here. So I want to use that one. And if you click that, it'll make it 1 decimal place, and then click it again and it'll make no decimal places. If you want to get your decimal places back, click the other one, and you can have as many decimal places as you like. But let's get it down so we've got none, all right? And then we've lost, oh, that made that wider. Let's take that back. So we've got something like that. So that's good. These ones here, we do have the decimal places, so we just color them all in and do general currency, and we've got our 2 decimal places, and here we do our, on that 25,000, we do our general currency. Now, something else we need to show you here, if your column is too thin, see how you've got all these kind of tag signs here, these pound signs or hash signs or sharp signs. That means that everything's too squashed up and it's too big to fit in the box because it's a number that's too big. So when you see that, that's an error, and you need to go up the top and just make sure you stretch so that there is enough room for all those numbers, okay? So if you see lots of hashtag signs like that, that means it's too small. You need to stretch it out so your number will fit. And I think we're all done, because that's looking exactly the same as that now, except for these lines. We can make, remember, we could color in and we could make all of these a really nice kind of, I think they've used a really kind of light gray there. So every pink one we're coloring in and just paint bucketing light gray. So we've still got that to do. So let's do that quickly. And then we'll just do that picture. And then that's the lesson done. All right, so we're learning how to make really nice looking spreadsheets here, and that are more readable and easy to use. Like, see, glow sticks is all pink and it's got that gray line so you don't get off track, which would really help you, not so much in this spreadsheet, but if you had a really big spreadsheet. So we might have to move Mandy's merch thing here, make it a bit smaller. Because the thing is, we want to now just get that photo in and put that in, and then everything will look exactly the same. So to do that, just go to this box here and we go Insert Pictures, this device. And of course we need to find out where on this device it is. So yeah, look, we'll put a download link. It'll download straight from Dropbox. You can get this festival picture that my son took, I think, at a festival that he was at. Let's see, we're in number 2. It's this festival one here. So it had the sun in it, actually. It was even more spectacular. This one's been cropped. So we want that Festival 3, and we insert it. Now, whoa, that's way too big. So you'll have to kind of grab it with your mouse and move it around and shrink it. And also, we want it to kind of fit, where's it fitting? It's kind of fitting there. And so it's sort of, I think it's being just dragged down like that. So we're kind of stretching it and dragging it down a bit as well, and it goes all the way across to column I. So yeah, that's how it looks. Now, it's kind of a bit dark. You can't really see anything. So you can go on your tabs to picture format, this one here. So that won't always be there. See, it's not there now, but if you click on something that's a picture you've inserted, you'll have picture format. Go to corrections, and I think you can just play around with these and see what looks good, but I think we did a lot of sharpening on that, and then we also, on corrections, did some brightness. Maybe not that much, maybe that much. Okay, but anyway, you can play around with that, and you can see then this tarp, which is awesome colours in that. We've tried to match the purples and things in here. Right, so that's all finished. So that's how you bring a picture in and size it as well. And then we'll just take out what we were trying to make. And there we are. That's Mandy's little merch sales all done. 25,000 coming in, but of course she has to pay for all the merch and pay for having a stall at the festival and pay for a transport, and then there was hours setting it up and all that sort of stuff, and labour attending the merch store. But you know, that could be a good business to have, a merch store at a festival. And then you could always hand out cards or something, or make sure on everything you sell there's a tag with a card, so that you could then get online sales after the festival as well. Would be a smart thing to do. Right, now we better get smart here and get finished with this lesson. So we've done Mandy's merch store and made it good. Right, now this is one for you to do. This is a spreadsheet where you're going to do some multiplying. You need to take the number here and times it by the unit cost. So all of these, it's just like that merch store. Actually, we're just timesing these guys together and doing multiplying to get those answers in the yellow box. Then we're working out the grand total using our auto sum. The cost per day, we're taking this value and dividing it by 7. So it'll be this value /7. So if you're having trouble getting all that, look, there's the answers there. And these are kind of the formulas you'll need to use. You'll need to go like equal sign in this answer box, then click on that guy, then the star, then click on that guy, then press enter. And this last one here, for how much it averages out a day, you just need to do equals this guy, click on this guy who's at E13, and just /7 to divide by 7 days, because it's a 7-day holiday. And you should have that. Remember, there is the Excel merch as well. If you want one of these fabulous I Always Excel t-shirts, you can get them on eBay. Just search for Microsoft Excel t-shirt. Very popular in the UK and very popular in France as well. And so the next steps are, we'll have another lesson coming up, another few more lessons in this course. So make sure you do them in order, because you can see in this lesson there are a few things which you had already done in lesson 1. So it would have been much better for you if you had done lesson 1 beforehand. All right, and subscribe to our channel so you know when that next lesson is coming out. And have fun learning Excel. It's a really useful, great tool, and we'll see you in the next lesson.